The other thing I would ask is this works so much better if you have your camera on. And as I often say, unless you're in your pajamas or on the beach, please do turn your camera on, because it allows us all to put a face to a name, and works so much better, especially during the introduction rounds, so that we know you're here. So excellent. So now it's my great pleasure to introduce Jill. Jill is a founding subscriber member of the Arts and Culture Network, and is an expert in collaboration. You call yourself a community catalyst, which I love. I thought that was brilliant. And you look after the collaboration global community, making a difference by connecting, collaborating, and growing. So I hope I haven't just stolen your first line, but Jill, by all means, share your screen. If you have any questions for Jill, please put them in the chat. If you'd like to do a follow-up, I'm sure Jill's contact details will be there. Mine will be there. If anyone would like, if we're not connected on LinkedIn, do connect. So over to you, Jill. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mark, and thanks for the invitation for doing this talk. Having been to a few of your meetings before, joined the community and met many of the members, I feel to a certain extent that I'm preaching to the converted about collaboration, because the creative community kind of knows how to do it. You know, music industry, art industry, whatever, you're doing it already. You know, you and the tech guys know how to communicate and talk effectively. But I feel that you are doing it naturally, without you know, thinking too much about it. It just happens, and you think everyone can collaborate. It's easy, right? Well, actually, it's not quite so easy, and you'll find an awful lot of people out there struggle, because the idea of collaboration for many people in the business world is, what's in it for me? If you and I collaborate and that person wants to collaborate, then together, well, you'll get 20%, I'll maybe get 30%, and they can have 10%, and then whatever's left goes into the next. And it's all about the money. It's all about what we can get out of it. My version of collaboration is, what can we put back? What can we give? Who can we help? What impact, positive impact, can we make to make a bigger difference for our world and our planet? So my passion with collaboration is around the problems of the planet, all the way down to the problems with the individual. Whatever problem you might have, the solutions are already out there. We don't have to go reinventing the wheel. But what's stopping us from finding the solutions is we're not able to collaborate effectively to get the solutions that we need for ourselves, for our business, for our communities, and for society. So whether your passion is climate change, or you're making a difference and helping people, when you have 2, 3, 4, 5 more people to connect to, you want to be able to do it in a really good way so that you're going to have success. And if all your focus is on the money, possibly if there are issues along the way, it's going to crack and crash and burn. Where if you understand what your purpose is and why you're doing it, it's more than likely you're going to have a success at the end. So I want to look at collaboration that maybe the world out there uses it for. And maybe you've been one of those people that have tried collaboration and gone, oh no, I got my fingers burnt, not doing that again. That's off, you know, I lost a lot of money, or they stole my IP, or they took away my clients. And yeah, there are people out there that do that. But if you put some things in place, you can see that actually it's not so difficult. And the purpose for me of a collaboration is, flipping hell, I want to have fun. I want to enjoy it. I want to learn about myself. I want to learn new things. And I want to see it flourish. And you know what? When all of those things are in place, the money just comes along anyway. You don't have to chase the money, but you can live your life so that every day you're in a collaboration, it's a fun day. It's a great day. And even when there are niggles, you can sort those. That's fine. And I'll go through some of those things to do that. But before we start, let's have a little think about great collaborations. So maybe could you put some of those in the chat space? What do you think of? What examples do you know as like, oh, that was good collaboration? And for those of you who are a slightly younger generation than me, in case you don't know, where the hell have you been? But this is Fred and Ginger, my good friends, Fred and Ginger. Fred Astaire, Ginger Rogers, in one of their famous dances. If you've never seen them, oh my goodness, you're in for a treat. I wish I was you. Never seen them before. Go on YouTube and look at Fred and Ginger and you'll find a million dances. They were magic. They were the ultimate collaboration. But you know what? It wasn't just about those two. Because for me, 3 is a magic number. They start with those two of the couples, but somebody has to have the idea. Sometimes that was Fred, but sometimes it was the filmmaker. Sometimes it was the studio. Sometimes it was the director. There are people out there on top of these two that have the catalyst, which is why I call myself a community catalyst. Somebody has the vision, somebody catalyzes that vision, and somebody drives it forward. Now, I would say that Fred Astaire was probably the driver in this, followed very shortly behind with Ginger Rogers, but it was that dynamic magic that happens when those 3 start the ball rolling. So I'm just wondering how where's my chat disappeared to? Let's have a look, see what we're saying. M&Ms, perfect, absolutely. Lennon and Yoko, for sure. Marx Brothers. Oh, I nearly put a photo up of the Marx Brothers. Nureyev and Fontaine. Oh, absolutely. Steve Pemberton and Reese Shearsmith. I need more information. That's gone over my head. I'm thinking it's a sport analogy. I'm sorry. Kermit and Miss Piggy. Excellent. Yes. You're getting my idea. Lennon and Cartney, Gilbert George, for sure. All of these, wonderful. But the difference with all, Torval and Dean, yeah, the difference with all of these, Ben and Jerry's, perfect, is it wasn't just 2 people. In a collaboration, there are more and more people. So for every successful marathon runner, you think it's just somebody running on their own. They need a nutritionist. They need a coach to look after their emotions and their headspace. They need a coach to look after their muscles and keep them physically fit and put them on a training program. You need the organization that says, hey, do you want to run in my marathon? Then all of the other stuff that goes around it as well. So collaborations are out there. And what I'm realizing now is there are more and more collaborations that are happening organically. They're springing up. There's like the Me Too movement. Who's in charge of that? I can't remember. Black Lives Matter. Well, we kind of know how it catalyzed, but who started it? There would have been 3 people that got together and said, let's do this now. The time is right. Extinction Rebellion. All of these, because we have the benefit of the internet, are now springing up. Now, for me, going forward, I see that as a potential for huge organizations like the one that I look after, the community that I look after, creating a culture that is so empowering for the people within it that we end up having a seat at the table of government, possibly, local authorities for sure, for organizations to help more and more people. Okay. I'm not going to be reading your chat for a little while. I will come back to that because I can't, it's the glasses. Some of you will know what that's like. Oh, hang on, there we go. So let me just start briefly, a little bit about me. That's me second on the right. No, I'm only kidding. I'm not that old. I'm pretty old, but I'm not that old. But you know what? If you're watching Call the Midwife, this is the kind of street I grew up on. I was born in 63. You can do the maths. And it was a tough life in the beginning. I didn't have any people to inspire me in the early days. My dad was a docker. My mum was a carer. Me being business, you're crazy. Why would I do that? How would I do that? I've got no clue. So we were hand to mouth, literally. We didn't know where the next meal was coming from on days. If you know much about the East End of London and dockers, you know that they were probably more on strike than they were working. So we struggled. We didn't have hot water. We didn't have an inside toilet. We didn't have a bathroom, and we certainly didn't have central heating. Yeah, you learn, don't you? You grow and you learn. So it wasn't bad for me. It was bad for my mum, but that's where I came from. So about 12 years ago, I met somebody who was supposedly my competition. I wasn't supposed to talk to him. But I went over and had a conversation, and we realized that although we both did the same thing as business coaches, he liked doing that bit, I liked doing that bit, and neither of us liked doing that bit. So we came together and started a business and started conversations around collaboration. He was passionate about it. He introduced me to this guy, Dr. Bruce Lipton. And from then, 2012, I started researching like crazy. You may recognize some of these books, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. I got obsessed about collaboration, looking at it through the eyes of society, looking at it through the eyes of history, looking at it through the eyes of geography. if you can't read any of these books, go get Ikigai. You'll find it at Oliver Bonus. It's a cute little book, but it tells you about how to lead a long and happy life. Okay, I'm not going to dwell too much on these, but if you want to know about any of these more, spiral dynamics is a huge influence on me, as is the biology of belief, but all of the others and many, many more. So take it, I'm pretty obsessed about collaboration being the solution to the war in Ukraine, to the politics of our country, to creating an education system for our children that actually fits with the 21st century. You know, teachers are struggling. I know, I've been one. So you're going to start a collaboration. 3 things you need to build a successful collaboration. Connection to self. If you have done no personal development, I'm going to go out there on a limb and say collaboration is probably going to be more difficult than it needs to be if you're not connected to who you are. Okay. Then, of course, when you know who the hell you are and what you're about, you take it into your business. And that would mean that your business is being built as a business for good. And taking it into your business, this feeling of empowerment that you find out for yourself, and I'll go into that more in a minute, you realize that your business actually has the ability to help so many more people. You don't run a business, it's a little aside here, you don't run a business to make money for you and your family. You do run a business to make money for you and your family, but that's not the only reason. And if that is the only reason, then you too will be living hand to mouth and struggling. You run your business for the benefit of who you can impact and support and help. That might be employees. It might be the relationship you have with your suppliers. It might be your clients and how many you can help. It might be all the people that are aware of you and want to know, but can't afford to work with you or can't work with you at this time, but they want to have some information and knowledge that you have. They want your wisdom. Your business can have ripples in so many different areas. And finally, your connection to others. So you can see collaboration equals connection. You connect, you collaborate, and you grow. You grow, your business grows, and the people around you get to grow as well. So first and foremost, understand your purpose. Now, this is bandied around a lot, I know, but it's true. It helps to drive us. It's not the only thing that drives us, but it really does help to drive us. So my purpose for Collaboration Global is I want to teach the world to collaborate. That is my main aim. It doesn't always get me out of bed in the morning, but you know what? It gets me 90% of the way there. The other 10%, I'm like, well, I have to show off to my kids how I'm making an impact. So if I decide not to do something, then I'm letting my children down. I've got 2 daughters. So that's also my purpose, my lifelong purpose. So uncovering what your purpose is the beginning of connecting to who you are. What's your legacy? What's your why? Who do you want to impact? Why do you want to impact them? What's your vision for the big picture of your life? If you don't know, that's fine. A lot of people don't, and it changes. What was your vision in your 20s is different to what's your vision in your 50s. But exploring that is really, really useful, because when you get that feeling, when you understand what it is, you're 10 feet tall. You kind of know your place in history, in the world, and in life for where you're going. Second thing is know your genius. And you're probably going, oh, I'm not a genius, Jill. God, yeah, Einstein's a genius. Picasso's a genius, not me. I beg to differ. Every single one of you sitting here listening today has genius within them. And it's up to you to find it. Now, I'm not asking you what are you good at, because I'm good at admin. Hate it. Don't like doing it, but I'm really good at it. I can be organized when I need to be, but I don't like doing it. My thing is connecting people. I can see their genius and I know they have to work together. And I will bring people together and they'll go, oh, I hadn't even thought. I've known them for years. I've never thought about doing a collaboration with them. And they do, and it works. I mean, I had one guy who, the trio that I put together was phenomenal. And he had to say after 3 months, could you stop this collaboration happening? I don't know how to break it up. He said, because I've got too much work and I can't cope anymore. It's that kind of thing. And he'd known these people for years. And he hadn't realized that there was a potential collaboration sitting there. So knowing your genius makes you unique, makes you understand what people will see in you, and understands how you can help and how to exploit your genius for you in the best possible way for your business. Don't be doing the stuff you're good at because it might not be the stuff. And how do you tell what's your genius? As a starter for 10, you know, when you start doing something that you really love doing, whatever it happens to be, and the next time you look up from doing it, it's got dark. You forgot to have lunch. How the hell, what happened to that day? I was having so much fun. You're in your genius. You're loving that. And I don't mean watching a box set on telly. That doesn't count. Have an awareness of your limiting beliefs and your triggers. Now, this is some of the work that you do when you do personal development. But can you imagine being in a collaboration and it hits a stress point and somebody's get a bit upset and things have gone wrong and it's not working the way it should have done? That's when your triggers of like, oh, they drive me nuts. And that's when the cracks can show. And that's when under stress, things can fall apart. If you have that conversation at the very beginning, what triggers you, Jill? What really winds you up? Well, if people don't show up on time, that really triggers me. If people start swearing for swearing's sake rather than for effect or for context, it's just use your words. These little things trigger me. Now, when I'm not stressed, there's not a problem. No, be 5 minutes late. What the hell? But when I'm under pressure, it's good to know these things. So connecting to who you are, what's important to you, what your values are, all of these things need to be unpacked before you start a collaboration. And then, of course, connecting.
Jill, sorry to interrupt. We've got about 5 minutes, okay?
Perfect. Thank you. I was just about to ask you. That's great. Thank you.
Okay.
So once you've got your purpose clear, you take it into your business and put that throughout all of your marketing, la-di-da, talk to a business coach. Happy to talk to you about that. And it then makes your business more directional. You're not scattergunning. And realize that you're building a business for good. The business, so I think it's something like 80% of SMEs are employing more people in this country. So we have a power as small, medium enterprises to affect everything that happens in this country. So if you're building a business for good, imagine if we start extrapolating that, where it could end. And again, your business has that potential to reach and make an income beyond your means in order to help others. We collaborate with B1G1. If you haven't heard of them, it's a charity that helps you to give as you go. It's an amazing partnership. And I would be very happy to share how we work with them so that every bit of income we get, some of it will automatically go to B1G1. Connection to others. Once you've done that, you've worked out on yourself, you've worked out your business, how you're going to collaborate, how your business is strong, then you start working out how you're going to pay it forward and collaborate with other people. If a collaboration has no means to pay it forward and support and help other people, you're kind of missing a trick, really. And be clear how your collaboration can help. Maybe you've learned something new and you take it into another project. Maybe the people you've collaborated with, it was so fantastic. You go and do the same thing again, but for different people. Maybe you see a community locally to you or a charity that you can help and support. Use that knowledge that you get from every collaboration and pay it forward. Being in action, just getting stuff done. So how does it make you feel when you know who you are and you're collaborating? I can't say it any better than that. You are strong, you are powerful. There is nothing you cannot do. What does it do for your business? This is one of the end results. This is not the most important end result, to be fair. As a person, that's the goal for me. I've met people in Collaboration Global who said if it wasn't for the community, they would have died by now. They would have committed suicide. They were that close to the edge with everything going wrong. When you surround yourself with good people, you can be transformed. What does it do for your community? Well, it's back to my old stomping ground. You can do so much in your community. You can change the face of how things are going. If you've got income coming in and you're starting giving it out to people, you can make a huge difference. Society, we can change the culture of how things work. We don't want toxic work environments. We want everything founded on love. So what are we doing? In Collaboration Global, we've been radically responsible. Everything we do has got that purpose and meaning behind it. We created the Altogether Different event last year. We're thinking big, we're thinking globally already. Even though we're a relatively small community, we know that connected, collaborating, we can make a huge difference. And we pay it forward constantly, and we use B1G1. So never doubt that a small group of concerned citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. And if you're sitting here at the moment going, I'm on my own, what can I do on my own? It's finding other people that share your passions, share your values. They are the ones that will help you to make a huge difference and leave your legacy and find your purpose and make you feel like this life is the best life you could ever lead. So thank you. I've been Jill Tiny, and I do want to teach the world to collaborate. You going to help me? If you fancy coming along to one of our sessions, we have them on the last Tuesday of the month. I'd love to invite everybody to come along and just feel the vibe, see what we get up to, and just think, how could I collaborate with my business and what could I do? And if you want to have a chat with me anytime, just give me a shout. Thank you.
Jill, thank you so much. There's a ripple of applause buzzing around. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm sure you'll make sure all your contact details are in the chat, so that if you have a question or you'd like to have a follow-up meeting with Jill, please do indicate that in the chat. This is a very timed hour, so I'm afraid we don't have time for questions, but we may do in the after party. If you don't need to rush off at 2 o'clock, we tend to have an after party for about 20 minutes. And that's where much of the magic happens. So Jill, thanks again. By the way, I collect signed photos. I've got that photo of Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, and it's signed by both of them.
Go away.
Yeah. So
oh wow.
I'll post you the pic of it.
Yes, please. Yeah,
and I love the genius superpower thing. It's kind of like the opposite of a Wagner opera. You're sitting in a Wagner opera and you think you've been there for 6 hours, and you look at your watch and only an hour has gone by. And it's the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thanks again, Jill. That was great. I'm going to do a few polls while we're chatting. Here's one. Tell me if you can see it. Can you nod if that has appeared? We did a bit of a poll on the website yesterday, and it turns out that I think about 60% of the members based on that poll and who responded, about 60% of the members of our LinkedIn group are freelancers rather than employed. So, and it looks like it's about the same here today. 62% of us are freelancers, which is interesting. Somebody somewhere suggested that as many as 85% of people who now work in the creative industry are freelance or contracting rather than employed. So excellent. We'll do another one shortly. Okay, so we've got probably, we now have bang on half an hour. For those people who can linger, that's great for 20 minutes or so. We're now going to do our round of 30 seconds, but please do keep it to 30 seconds, less if you can do it, or we won't get round to everybody. If you don't want to do it, don't worry. But if you would like to, I'm going to work our way around. Jump on, it's name, what do I do, where am I based, who would I like to meet, what gets me up in the morning, that kind of thing. So you've heard from me and you've heard from Jill. If just nod and shake your head if you don't want to do it, but if you do, it's fine. But do please keep it to 20 minutes. We're recording everything, and don't forget meeting and referral in the chat for the follow-up goal. And first, I'd like to come to Andrew Allen. Andrew, do you want to jump on? Good to see you again.
Hello, everybody. Yes, I'm Andrew Allen, based in Brighton, running two things. One is confidence in communication, which is essentially what that sounds like, and also Ironclad Creative, which is bringing together writers and theatre makers, particularly those from low-income backgrounds, although we're open to any sort of creative, including jugglers and electricians. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Deborah, would you like to jump on?
Hi, thanks for the opportunity. Hi, everyone. Greetings from sunny South Africa. Good to be with you. I work in the entertainment industry as a publicist, working right across from classical music and opera all the way through to rap artists and even to more classical concerts. So it's right across the spectrum, and love what I do. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Deborah. Wanda. Oh, I think I muted you on arrival, Wanda, so you might, my fault entirely.
Okay, can you hear me now? Yes, sorry.
Yes.
Yes, I'm Wanda Lewis, Emeritus Professor at the University of Warwick, Fellow of the Royal Society of Arts. As a structural engineer, I'm interested in natural structural forms, that is, structure designed by principles operating in nature. I found that they have inherent aesthetics and could be viewed as structural art, but many artists would disagree, and that really raises the question, what is art? But I'm pressing on with my idea to see more of these of this structural art, make it more accessible to general public.
That's great, Wanda. Thank you very much. Matt, can I come to you next, please? I could probably do your 20 seconds for you now after our personal branding session.
Yeah, sure. Maybe I should listen to what you have to say. So I'm Matt. I'm a former ballet dancer and artistic director. I now work with dancers and dance professionals of all kinds to empower them to have successful and satisfying careers through effective career planning, career development, and transitions. That's what I do.
That's it. Great. I could have done that because we talked about that the other day. Brilliant. Marcia, lovely to see you. Marcia and I go back a long way. Thank you for joining us. Do you want to jump on and say hello?
Hello. Thank you for inviting me. They have been inviting me, but I've never been available. So here I am. I'm Marcia Samuels. I'm based in Wickford in Essex. And I have many lives, but what I love and I'm focusing on at the moment, I've published my first children's book and I've just drafted the...
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, Marcia.
Oh, no.
Right. Well, actually, hers 30 seconds is the one we'll
frozen.
remember. Marcia, go again.
Sorry.
Go again. You broke up a bit. Go again. We got as far as the children's book.
Right. Drafted the second. I've got a vision for it being like a children's series and more, but I need to talk to somebody about how do I get there. So I think there's Mark, I need to talk to you first.
Great. Yeah, do. I'm sure we'll be able to find somebody who can help you. I know there are people who've been through that process. So thank you very much, Marcia. Could I come to Richard next? Richard Byrne.
Hi, I'm Richard. Yeah, I'm a PR freelancer. I help people get their stories in national and local media. So I've just been watching Steph's Packed Lunch because one of my people's going on Steph's Packed Lunch next Thursday, I think, unless it gets shifted around. I've had people on 5 Live, on the BBC front news page, in The Guardian in the past few months. And currently I have a rock and roll client. So that's very exciting.
Very exciting. Are you allowed to say who it is?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay, best not. Tell me later. Thank you very much, Richard. And please use the codes that we talked about for meeting and follow-up and referral testimonials as well, if you've got one for a fellow member, which would be great. Now, Farah, can I come to you now? Farah is one of our founding subscriber members and she's hunting for the mute button. There we go.
Hunting. Hi, hello everybody. I'm Farah Syed, and I'm an artist, educator, and color energy specialist. I create immersive, unusual, memorable experiences via art, and I'm very passionate about making art accessible to all, which is why I've worked with the blind community globally to make sure that I can provide fascinating art experiences for people who are only experiencing it using the sense of touch. So I put my details on the chat. If there's something that you'd like to talk about, please get in touch. I'd love to collaborate with people to reach untapped audiences, as well as make a positive impact with art in many different ways. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Farah. Just a reminder, if you're putting something in the chat, make sure it's to everyone, not just hosts and panelists, because then we'll all see it. So pop away, do work on those meetings and referrals. And thank you very much, Farah, and thank you for being such an active supporter of our network. Chanel, can I come to you next, please? I love your background there.
Oh, thanks. It was a double day. It was Fettesdag and Pancake Day. So I'm saying big hello from Sweden. I've recently moved here. I am an illustrator, 3D artist and motion designer, and I help people realize their visions through art and design.
That's great. Thank you very much. You're very welcome. Is this your first visit with us?
Yeah, it is. And I'm loving it.
Oh, great. I hope it's not your last. Hello again, Ian. Can I come to you now, please? Ian Oliver.
Yeah, good old morning, everybody, or good afternoon. It's Ian Oliver from Letkin Productions. We're actually based in Wexford in Ireland. Main things that we do are administrative services for the arts and cultural sector. So from project management through to grant writing, through to business development, mentoring services. And one of our main things would actually be working with the film industry over here. So project managing all production services that people need, from equipment through to taxes, through to licenses and grants, etc. So yes, Ian Oliver from Letkin Productions in Ireland.
Great, thank you, Ian. And do please pop your detail, make sure your details are in the chat so that people can follow up. That's great. Samantha, could I come to you now? Samantha Turner.
Sure. Hi, Samantha Turner, coming from the United States, but serving the world. My philosophy is adventure awaits, and I believe in personal development for people and teams. And I'm passionate about finding a way to help arts organizations find a way to put that in their budget, both time and money-wise. So would love to learn more about the challenges you all having that way, so I can build the tools that you need.
That's great. Thank you very much, Samantha. I'm going to come to Don next. Don is an advisory board member and a passionate advocate for us in the States. And so he and I will be working very closely together to let everybody know about our first US lunch event, which is on the 20th of April. It's on the website. Don, coming to you.
Hi, I'm Don Youngberg. I'm coming from New Haven, Connecticut in the United States, which is near New York City, for those of you who don't know. I just love working in the arts and cultural community in terms of networking and collaboration. I'm freelancing now, but previously I worked with a software company that did arts and culture software, business side of things, and ran a community there, a very successful one. And I'm thrilled on this call to have Rob McPherson on the call, because he was a part of that community, a very dear part and friend in the community. I really appreciate Jill explaining what I've been doing and laying it out so clearly. And it's nice to have it kind of analyzed for me and put in print. So thank you.
That's great, Don. Thank you very much. And thank you for all your ongoing support. Coming to Rob now, as luck would have it, Rob McPherson. You and I go back too far. Rob was my first client when I had a web design agency in the music industry. So Rob, over to you. And thank you for being on our ad board as well.
No worries. Thanks, Mark, and thanks, Don. Good to see you. So Rob McPherson, I run a consultancy called Impact, based here in Birmingham in the UK. Very sunny today. And I have for a long time worked with orchestras, concert halls, other venues, art centres, theatres, festivals, and I advise people these days in marketing, PR, comms, fundraising, and brand challenges as part of their business planning processes. So good to meet you all.
Rob showed me some of the output of his recent work on a call earlier this week, and it's staggering, the insights that he produces that most theatres and venues they don't know. It was fascinating. It's great. Thank you, Rob. Nadia, lovely to see you. Coming to you now. Do you want to introduce yourself briefly?
Yes, hello everybody. No, lovely to be with you all again. Thanks, Jill, for your presentation as well today, because very interesting. And I think one of the reasons I haven't made the leap of faith into the arts creative work is exactly probably the bit where I need to look at myself a bit more, because my background is all marketing, commercial marketing, and a bit like being a detective, sort of uncovering insights and strategy. Marketing strategy has been my main occupation in a lot of the companies I've worked at. So I'm literally looking at making the leap in the next 2 to 3 months to something very new. So lovely to meet you all, and all of you very energizing. And I love, Mark, the way you put the agenda together and so on. So thanks.
Thank you, Nadia. We still haven't had that coffee together at the Royal Society of
We'll
Arts.
have it on a lovely sunny day in London.
We'll wait
hopefully.
for the sun to come out. Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you, Nadia. Jenny, are you there? You've got a blurred background. Can you hear us? If not, we'll move on and come back to you. I think we'll move on for the sake of time. Robin, Maestro Online. Another pillar of our community, I have to say, and long-time collaborator. Robin, over to you.
Thank you, Mark. I feel like we've become really good friends in the year or so that we've known each other now. Master Online, digital music courses, which enable you to be you. Nobody should be a clone. Everybody who finishes them should sound completely different to everybody else. Also, celebrity masterclasses. We've got like Madonna's keyboard player. We've got the keyboard player that tours with Jacksons. We've got people that sung with Stormzy and Ellie Goulding and all sorts of people like that. And if anybody's got any other contacts that might like to be involved, they'd be really, really welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Robin. Lynn, can I come to Lynn Howes next? Lynn, I think you arrived an hour early, didn't you, today?
No, that was me on my mobile earlier, just testing myself. Hello.
Thank you. You're very welcome. Is this your first visit?
No, I haven't been for a while, but I have attended before.
Okay, thanks for coming back.
So I'm the head of marketing and communications at Mountview, which is many of you may know, but might not know, is a higher education drama school, one of the conservatoires, part of the Federation of Drama Schools, alongside RADA and LAMDA and Central and Royal Welsh, Royal Scottish, etc. And though I'm not a freelancer, we make many freelancers. We make actors, musical theatre performers, stage managers, scenic artists, musical directors, theatre directors, creative producers, and I could go on and on and on. So what I come for is finding inspirational people who I can introduce to the students while they're studying, who are potential collaborators for their future careers. And that's why I'm here.
Great. Lynn, we should talk. I do a talk on networking and self-promotion for career development at schools and colleges. So if that's of interest, do let me know. Thank you very much, Lynn. Coming to Ying next. Hello, Ying.
Hello, everybody. I'm Yin, first time here, and I'm a PhD student in the University of Oxford, and I write stories from short stories to novels. Most of my published stories are all about the realism stories, about issues that are obscured by China's rapid development in the past 3 decades, and currently I'm writing stories about the culture shock when I live in UK as a student, and also I'm planning on writing a historical novel about Second World War, what I am research about. Thank you.
Wow, I want all of that, please. Thank you. That sounds fantastic. Brilliant. Excellent. Thank you, Ying. And Fabia, hello again. Would you like to say hello?
Yes, so I'm Fabia or Fabia. I have a small business which has been on pause for a bit. I'm not very well, which is why I'm still in bed, but on the mend slowly. So I'm an artist and designer, product designer, originally from Brunel. But my business, I create fabric wall hangings, lino prints and graphic art prints. And I really want to go into like surface pattern design and homeware and do some more freelance work. And this is my object. He said to maybe bring one along. This is one of my little designs. He's a T-Rex. He can't drink his cup of tea because his arms are too short.
I love that. That's a story, and that's a story in itself. I love it. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Fabia. Marianne, I'm coming to Marianne next.
Hi, this is my first time here. I'm Australian, based mostly in Australia, but I'm in Germany at the moment, so I'm between the two countries. I'm a musician, so I come from a contemporary classical, but also jazz, world music, improvisation background. And I have 2 nonprofit organizations, so one in Germany and one in Australia. The nonprofit organizations are concerned with international cultural exchange and collaboration, so trying to put artists together and obviously finding the funding to make that happen. And we're starting on a couple of smaller festivals in Australia now, after the whole COVID thing of the last 3 years. So yeah, looking forward to maybe collaborating with other artists that we can meet, or yeah, indeed the other business stuff that we've heard about.
Great. Thank you very much, Marianne. I'm conscious of time. We just got just over 10 minutes before we close, but we will carry on for those who'd like to stay. So if I could ask you to keep it brief, that would be excellent. Thank you very much. There'll be more chance to chat in the after party. So coming to Michael now. Michael, take as long as you want because you're a subscribing founder member. Oh, find the button. Right, that's it. You've missed your chance. Sorry.
Oh, there we are. Okay, I can talk that. So Michael Pila, the name of my company is Clicks for Ticks. It's digital marketing, mostly digital marketing, digital content for website, social, and email marketing. My mission is to basically help arts organizations recover from the COVID lockdown. A lot of them are basically, as we know, they're struggling. Digital marketing seems to be the best way for them to get back in front of people. For instance, lately I've been working with a local film festival, and we've more than doubled what they've done in the last 2 years through a very focused campaign of basically Facebook ads and email marketing. So hopefully we'll get to do more of that with some more organizations. It's nice being part of this group, and I look forward to learning more about all of you.
Great, thank you very much, Michael. I'm coming to David next. David Altevsky. David and I had a fascinating catch up a week or so ago. Polymath in dance, I would say, would be the description. David, over to you if you want to hop off mute and say hello.
Hi, everybody. I'm a professional dancer, teacher, manager, and researcher. And right now I'm focused on developing my business of professional development for dance teachers and studio owners in fields such as dance history, dance science, injury prevention, and dance on camera, among others. I'd love to collaborate with others on similar projects or something along the lines of what I can be useful, perhaps as an embodiment coach and other areas of leadership and so on. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, David. I imagine if you haven't met Mats yet, you two would have a fascinating conversation. So do please. And I gather you're in New York City, aren't you? Yeah, there we are. Elma, could I come to you next, please? Welcome back, Elma.
Hi, thank you very much. I'm Elma Glasgow. I'm the founder and a co-director of a not-for-profit company called Aspire Black Suffolk. I'm based in Ipswich, well, near Ipswich in Suffolk, which is about 70 miles northeast of London. So Aspire Black Suffolk, we were born out of an award-winning exhibition called Power of Stories, which was a catalyst for change here across the region in terms of Black representation and both in the arts and also in audiences. We've won lots of awards for our work so far. The exhibition features 3 original Black Panther costumes, which are now packed up and on their way back to Hollywood. They've been on loan from Marvel, and we offer all kinds of services. So we offer D&I training, decolonization in education, the arts and culture, museums, audience development, diverse community engagement. I'm reading my list and I'll be quick. And Black history education, did I say that? If I did, sorry. And anti-racist communications. My background is PR and comms, arts, culture, music. We've worked with lots of schools, museums, festivals, brands, and I did some work with Ron Bear last year as well. And my details are in the chat.
Thank you very much, Elma. Jonathan, coming to Jonathan now, please.
Yes, good morning, good afternoon all. I'm calling in from Pennsylvania. I guess you might say Pittsburgh is probably the closest area. Many hats, but one I probably would describe here is kind of trying to combine culture, heritage, and international development, working with colleagues overseas who are in these fields, which certainly embody some of the folks who are here today and our interests here. So a little bit of everything, and I'll stop here because we're going quick.
Great, that's very kind, Jonathan. You might want to put your surname in the label on your video so that colleagues can reach you on LinkedIn if you haven't put your details in the chat. That's great, thank you. Coming to Kerry now.
Hi everyone, so I'm Kerry Sunu. I am work part-time as business development manager for the London Mozart Players. Outside of that, I am a choir leader, I do vocal arrangements for gospel music, and I'm also a coach. I'm going to have to leave bang on 2, but if anyone wants to contact me, just look for me on LinkedIn. I am the only Kerry Sunu, Nigerian with a Welsh first name and a Ghanaian surname, so you will find me.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much, Kerry. Thank you for coming back again. Great. Dan, can I come to Dan now?
Hi. Oh, wrong
Thanks
Dan.
for coming. Good to see you again, Dan.
Yes, you too. Hi, hello from Brussels. I'm a filmmaker, I'm a screenwriter and a producer. I make thrillers, dramedies with a purpose that aim at international audiences, funded with a mix of European subsidies and American equity. I'm interested in people who want to help bring these stories to the screen, but also happy to connect to screenwriters in the room who may want to share their work. And cheers.
I think you Ying need to have a conversation to bring some of her books to life.
That would be great.
Thank you very much, then. Katie, great to see you. I've submitted your nomination for the Royal Society of Arts, by the way. Katie, do you want to say hello?
Thank you very much, Mark. That's very kind of you. Yeah, I'm Katie, and I work in the visual arts as a curator, a lecturer, and a researcher and writer on contemporary art from China. So I'm a China person. I did Chinese as a degree years ago. I've worked at an elite institution called Sotheby's Institute of Art, but I'm also transitioning into consultancy, and I founded a company called Office of Contemporary Chinese Art, and I'm just developing the website for that. So anybody, art, China, culture, I'm on. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Katie. Coming to Mylena. Hello, Mylena.
Hi, my name is Milena. I'm Bulgarian, based in the Netherlands, nowadays Manhattan in New York. I'm the executive director of the American Association of Arts Administration Educators. Almost left me breathless saying that, so known as AAAE. We bring together arts managers, both educators, practitioners, and consultants as well. And our next conference is taking place in June, the Creative Ecosystem, People, Process, and Power. And I'm looking forward to your launch in the area. Thank you.
Yeah, do please come and tell us all about that on the 20th of April, won't you, Mylena? Yeah, thank you very much. Nick, can I come to you now? 30 seconds, if you wouldn't mind.
Me, hello.
Yes,
I'm Nick. I'm Nick Coulson from STEAMco. I run a non-profit to inspire kids with creativity by connecting communities. Last year, tried to raise £1 million to inspire 1 million kids, and ended up buying myself this camper van, which has actually got a live streaming TV studio in the back of it. This year is our Creativity 23 year, and I'm really looking for people who want to collaborate on a kind of loose creativity festival. Last week, I flew to Liverpool in my Starship. But it's all about loose collaborations and connections. Art is what we call it when what we do connects, and I've made some fantastic connections here. The UN Bossy team, we're going to be collaborating with them. So nothing but thanks and respect for what Mark's doing, connecting people across the country. Here we go. Our Starship's just about to land on a cardboard oil rig in the middle of Liverpool. I'll tell you all about that some other time. Thanks, Mark.
Brilliant, Nick, as always. Thank you so much. Please go and look at some of Nick's videos on his website. They're just fantastic. And he's award-winning. He's winning lots of awards at the moment, which is fantastic. He's also made an application for some funding, and I'm sure Nick will put the video link in the chat. And the more people who see that and comment on it and support him, the greater his chances are of being funded. So do please have a look if you can. Daniel, can I come to Daniel now?
Hey, how you doing? I'm Daniel Keating-Roberts, the only Daniel Keating-Roberts, calling from the woods of South Germany. I'm a coach specializing in performance and anxiety, and I create workshops to connect arts and businesses, to raise the profile of art skills as an important part of the business process.
That's great. Thank you very much, Daniel. Mike, I'm coming to Mike now, not least because the partnership and collaboration I put in the chat for your benefit was Gilbert and Sullivan. Is that Iolanthe behind you? I can see. Oh, you're on mute still. Yep. Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Iolanthe, Gilbert and Sullivan was a great collaboration, wasn't it? 150 years ago. Yeah, so we're Opera Anywhere touring opera company. We rely on collaboration to exist because we're touring around various venues, working with lots of different promoters. We try and work with other music groups to bring together great performances, and we need more collaboration. We've got a particular problem in Essex, working with Essex County Council at the moment, trying to find the right venue for us. But anyway, that's Opera Anywhere touring around the UK.
Thank you, Mike. As you might recall, I'm the chair at Culture Chelmsford, so we should probably have a conversation around that. Yeah, excellent.
You get
okay. I beg your pardon?
You get everywhere, don't you?
I do get everywhere, yeah. I'd like to come to Mary now. Hello, Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary Kilduff and I'm from Dublin, Ireland, and I'm currently studying a Master's in Art and Culture in Rome, Italy, and I'm here with some of my classmates. But I'm also a part-time associate producer for an Australian-based theatre company called Quiet Riot, and our main client is Hot Brown Honey, who is all about diversity, inclusion, and we are opening a show in the Sydney Opera House in May. But I'm also looking for more opportunities in producing anywhere in the world, and my main focus is all about access in the arts, inclusion and diversity. And my big overarching end goal is to have my own venue so I can program and produce work that inspires me. So that's me.
Fantastic. That's a great aspiration. I love that. Thank you very much, Mary. Just a reminder that I offer a 15-minute intro chat on Zoom, which is free, when the link to book it is in the chat. So I'm scribbling down ideas for everybody here, and if you want to share those with you about how you might progress those ideas, then please book a quick call with me. Thank you very much, Mary. Can I come to Kosara now, please?
Hello, everyone. My name is Kosara. I'm Bulgarian, currently based in Rome, Italy, with my classmates over here as Mary. I'm studying a Master in Arts and Culture Management. I'm an art historian, and I'm part-time volunteer as Communications and Media Manager for the International Biennale of Glass in Bulgaria. I'm passionate about glass art, and I'm currently looking for volunteer or internship or job opportunities in the field of art management, because my goal is to find a way to combine my theoretical knowledge with practical abilities to navigate in the art sector.
Thank you, Kosara. I think you and Mary have done a first here. You're actually sitting next to each other, and ironically, you're actually next to each other on my screen. There we go. Brilliant. Excellent. Thank you very much. Sindre, hello. How are you doing?
Hello there. Very good, thank you.
Excellent. Do you want to give a quick 20-second intro to us all?
Of course, yes. So I'm a filmmaker, and I'm making a documentary film at the moment about innovation. So I interview some pretty cool people, people behind big innovative companies, to figure out some interesting questions like, is the era of the lone genius over, or does it still prevail in some way? And other interesting questions about how innovation works today. I also have a group of filmmakers where we help each other out and learn how to become successful in the film industry. So that's me.
Great, thanks, Sindre. And we had a fascinating chat earlier this week, or was it last week? So thank you very much for sparing the time to chat to me. I'm conscious that it's now 2 o'clock, and some people may have booked 2 o'clock meetings. If you have to slide away, please do wave as you go. I'm sorry we didn't quite get through everybody. We will finish, we will carry on. If you can linger just for 5 or 10 minutes, that would be great. We might start talking about ChatGPT and what it means for our sector. But that might be the heated debate. So if I could come now to Kabako. Can you hear me, Kabako? Sadly not. Is Jenny, can you hear us? Because I think we missed you earlier on. Oh, there she is. Hi, Jenny. Would you like to jump on and say hello for 30 seconds?
Just very quickly, I put a message in the message because I've got a very naughty puppy here at the moment, so she keeps barking and running around and eating everything. But I work as a freelance architect and used to design theatres, and that's about it. I haven't got a business, and I'm looking for my passion. So
excellent.
That's me.
Thank you so much for joining us. We didn't hear the dog. I've got 2 here, and they've been barking. I think the noise suppression is helping. So have I missed anybody? Please wave if I've missed anyone. No. Have we been? Akin, are there lots of? Hopefully there'll be lots of meeting requests in the chat. I'll have to have a look and see. That looks good. Oh, there's lots of contact details in the chat, which is fantastic. So thank you all very much. We're just after 2 o'clock if you have to slide away. We normally linger for a bit of open networking. It's where much of the magic happens. We've got a random speed networking event next Thursday at 1 o'clock, and that's where I put you in pairs at random, entirely at random for 5 minutes, and then we do it again and again and again. It's a little bit of a different feel. It works really well. We've had people come out of breakout rooms having been hired, which is just crazy, which I love. So do please have a look at the website for that for next Thursday. And there'll be other events, but 20th of April, I think I'm doing a masterclass at 1 o'clock our time on, I should know this because I've just put it in there, but the American one is later in the evening for us, but 1 o'clock there. Jill, are you having to slide away, Jill? Oh,
no, I was just reading the chat, and a couple of people I know are disappearing, so I was just trying to wave to them before they went. That was all. I'm around.
Okay.
Bye. Sorry.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Have a great
Bye,
day,
Farah.
everyone. Bye.
Bye, Farah. Thanks. Yeah, if you have to slide away, then don't worry. We'll be posting the video of this and the chat transcript, and of course Jill's presentation on the website, hopefully tomorrow, which will be great. Meanwhile, we tend to have a debate at this stage, and I hosted an event yesterday in the medtech sector, and we were talking about ChatGPT. Can I do a little poll while I've still got you there? So 62% of us are freelance. There we go. There's let's launch this poll. Can you see that now? If I see votes coming in, I'll know that you've seen it. Yes, okay. Excellent. So 44, 50, half of us have used ChatGPT. 38%. So it's about split, and 3 of us have yet to see its wonderful, its wonders. For the benefit of those of you who haven't used ChatGPT, it's gaining something crazy like 1 million new users a week or something. It's a chatbot, but it's an extremely intelligent one. I asked it to write the synopsis of Macbeth in the style of a pirate, and it was hilarious. It did it. It's quite staggering. It's often oversubscribed, and they're about to start charging for it. So if you haven't looked, go and ask it something. It's a kind of cross between a very intelligent Google and a chatbot. So you can literally have a conversation with it, but it's fascinating. Does anyone want to jump off mute and share what they thought about using it? Yes, Jill, please.
It's got 2 schools of thought, hasn't it? Because there's the convenient side. And so, for example, my son-in-law had written 2 lines of code that was very important for his company, and nobody else in his company could do it. And he was about to put that into the boss to say, this is what I did. Then he put it through ChatGPT and said, make it sound important. So it came back with 3 paragraphs of what he'd done accurately. That was the code that he'd written. And then he looked at it and he went, no, put it through again. He said, now make it look like it took me a long time to do. Came back with a 5-page report that he put into his boss. He was duly impressed with something that literally took him 10 minutes to do. The work took him 10 minutes to do, and it was like 2 lines of information. But now his boss thinks he's like amazing because of what he'd done. So there are so many different ways of utilizing this wonderful piece of equipment. And people are saying, I'm asking everybody, like copywriters, blah, blah, authors, people are saying, like, oh, it's not going to replace humans because you can tell if it's a human. It's really hard. If you're using 0.3, you can't, but 0.4 is very, very difficult.
Okay, so I'm going to do a little experiment here. We'll do a group version of this. If it's not oversubscribed, here we go. If you don't mind, I'm going to share my screen, and we'll give it a try for the benefit of those who haven't seen it. But we'll decide between us what we're going to ask it, okay? Right, so share screen. There we go. Can you see that, everyone? I hope so. That's my window there. So this is where, these are some of the ones that I've asked before. So for example, could you write, this one is, I asked it to write a formal invite for a free company barbecue during lunch break to send to staff members by internal email with vegan and vegetarian options. And this is what it came back with within 5 seconds, right? It's just nuts. So it's quite staggering, you know, it's a great starting point if you're writing. So Ying, you've probably used this, have you?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure. There was also, where was this one? It doesn't save them all, but what was that one? I said, write a synopsis of Star Wars in the style of a pirate. Oh, I'm a hearty. Gather round and I'll spin you a tale of Star Wars. A swashbuckling adventure full of Jedi and space force. It's just, you know, I found it's becoming addictive, unfortunately. Has anyone else got, let's try one, shall we? Let's do a new chat. Let's assume that we want it to, let's ask it to write a press release. Somebody give me an event type. Jump off mute if you wish.
A lino print class at Wolf and Badger.
What one? Fabio, what was that? A lino
print class at Wolf and Badger. It's something I'm going to do when I'm better.
Write a press, right, so I'm going to, excuse
lino
my
print.
typing. Hang on, bear with. Right, write a press release for a lino print workshop, is it?
Yeah.
Workshop. Where?
At Wolf and Badger.
WAL. Where's that? In?
It's in the Coal Drops Yard in King's Cross.
In London?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else about it that's special, Fabio?
That's pretty special.
It is special already, but
wear a hat. Yes,
is it for children or is it
I wanted to do it originally for Mother's Day. I don't think I'll be well enough by then, so that people could like bring their mums along and like connect over art rather than buying a chocolate.
So we try this then. So write a press release for a lino print workshop in Wolf and Badger in London for Mother's Day with prizes. Yeah. And let's see how quickly it comes back. Celebrate Mother's Day with lino print workshop and prizes in Waltham Abbey, London. Wolf and Badger, London. As Mother's Day approaches, what better way to show your appreciation than a unique gift made by your own hands? Wolf and Badger is thrilled to announce a lino print workshop designed for all skill levels that will take place on the 25th of March, just in time for Mother's Day. The workshop, led by experienced printmaker John Smith, will teach participants. You get the idea, right?
Yeah.
And it's doing it in real time, which is just it's
not
just
stopping. Yeah.
It's so you take this and then you adapt this for it literally. I mean, it's still going, and it's all in the and so then you could do this, you see. Could you make that more witty? Sure, here's a witty version. Make your mama proud with a lino print workshop in Wolf and Badger this Mother's Day, plus prizes. Wolf and Badger, London. You've got the best mum in the world, so why settle for a bland bouquet or a boring box of chocolates this Mother's Day? Treat her to a unique gift that she'll treasure forever, created by you at Wolf and Badger's lino print workshop. Led by printmaker, and yeah, so it's just nuts. I'm looking at Mary.
I never need to write anything ever again.
Well, it lacks context and it's making mistakes. It's assumed that Wolf and Badger is a company, Fabio, I think. So
is it what is Wolf and Badger? They're really big brand.
Yeah.
And
I'm looking at Mary and Kasara here because I don't think they've seen this before. I've just changed their lives.
No, we have.
Oh, you have seen it.
Yeah, we have seen it, and a few of us have used it in college, and we were talking about the ethics of it for like essay writing or cover letters for jobs is what we were discussing. But we just thought it was so funny when you asked us to do it witty, and we found it really funny. So that was all.
Cover letters for jobs is such a good idea.
Yeah,
there's a lot of jobs I apply for, and I never even hear back. So I might as well stop writing.
Yeah, examples of it online of people who post job postings, and you put the job posting into ChatGPT and ask it to generate a cover letter, but then the woman who had put the job posting up did it herself in ChatGPT, and a lot of the cover letters she received were the exact same from that format. So it's hard to know. So
It's. I also. I know that Bard is Google's version of this in development, as you probably know, and they lost billions of dollars on their share price when it made a very public mistake recently, apparently. But of what's really interesting, and I had a conversation with an SEO expert yesterday. Google is starting to penalize web pages it finds where it suspects that there's an algorithm behind the development of the copy. So, and that may be because they want people to use theirs instead. I don't know, but Bard is Google's version of this. But I just thought that was quite hilarious. So, does anyone want to? I'm stop sharing now, but you can go and have a try, should you wish. It's kind of you all to stay on afterwards. And has anyone else got anything? Fabio was waving, so oh, she's gone. There we go. Does anyone have any news, exciting developments, plans for the forthcoming week or month that they'd like to share, or anything we might be able to help promote? If there's an event or a new initiative or a new service or product, please pop the details in the chat and we can all. Richard, are you wanting to do that, or are you saying?
I had a question. I'd love Katie to just give us a few sentences about something that would make us think differently about China. Recently, I came across a video of some young people in Russia having a great time. They'd occupied a government building and they were having a party. And it made me think really differently about the Russian population. So we get so much, everything about China is all about the government, Taiwan. So just to get something from her or something to look at.
Oh, thanks, Richard. That's really, really nice thing to say. I mean, artists are always kind of up against it. So there's lots of complex, backgrounds and reasons they're here, but also reasons they can't go back. So I think it's really important to remember that.
Hello.
Thank you, Katie. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? We see what we see, but it's great when you manage to speak to somebody who's been more immersed in that culture than we have and is not influenced necessarily by what they see or read. So, Nick, what's next on the Nick agenda?
The Nick agenda is I'm actually building that cardboard oil rig in Liverpool Street tomorrow, and I'm speaking at a conference. I don't know if you saw, but the former culture minister is now the technology minister, Michelle whatever, Donnellan, and she glibly said at a speech at Bloomberg the other day, Britain's going to lead the world in AI, which I thought was bold and brave and brilliant. But more to the point, she said, we've currently got vacancies in the tech sector that are costing UK GDP £150 billion. That's a £150 billion skills crisis. We launched an appeal the other week, a campaign with 20 other bodies, the Save Our Subjects campaign around the arts. But we very, very clearly need a strategy for tech skills, tech literacy and coding in the country. And the conference I'm at tomorrow is a technology event in education, LGFL. So I'm going to be doing a bit of a stunt there. I'm doing 2 workshops and a speech. So yeah, if you ask, be careful what you ask for when you when you ask me a question, Mark. Yeah. It's going to be a good day, but thanks for asking.
No, that's great. We've probably got another couple of minutes. So does anybody else want to jump on and share some news? Marcia, is your book published yet?
Second one now. Looking at illustrators at the moment after the last experience with the first one. So
okay. Have you put a link in the chat?
You know what I'm like with technology.
Oh, you can't type, can you? You can't type. That's great. So just a brief, yes, I'll tell you a little bit about our 1% campaign. We're getting 50 or 60 people joining the LinkedIn group every day at the moment, which is just great. Fantastic. So to try and do more events, to do more for our subscribers, I'm running the 1% campaign. If I can persuade 1% of our LinkedIn group members to subscribe, and it's only £10 a month or £100 a year, for which there are lots of benefits for enhanced and supported promotional access to the network and my own followers. If we can do that, I can do so much more for us. I'm also determined to remain independent. I don't want to be running after the Arts Council. I don't want to be running after a grant funding. Been there, done that. But if we are as a collective, it doesn't need many of us to subscribe to make all of that possible as an independent, self-governing, self-funded, slightly piratical force for good. And it's starting to, we are having an impact as a community, because as I mentioned on the last events, a major publisher issued a survey in our sector, and we were one of the answers, which I thought that was great. Which of these resources do you use for networking and the news? And we were one of the 5 options in the answers. So we're starting to have a bit of an impact as a gang, which is great. Which of course makes it possible for me to it's a bit like I can turn up at an event and say, look, I lead an organization of 18,000 people. You need to listen to us because we've got some very smart people and we're independent. We've got no agenda. We don't have any sponsors. That's the other thing I might look at if they're similarly independent. But in the short term, for this year, we'll probably have, at the rate we're growing, 35,000 members in the LinkedIn group by the end of the year. Somebody once said having lots of followers on LinkedIn is like having lots of money in Monopoly. You've got to use it, and we've got increasing numbers of people are subscribing to the website, and increasing numbers of people are subscribing, which is fantastic. And thank you to those who have. But it does mean that I can spend so much more time representing us all. So do please consider that if you get the chance. 1 minute left. Does anyone want to share a parting shot before we round up? I'd like to know where Iolanthe is being performed, Mike. Can you tell us? No, he's gone. There we go. We'll have to Google it. I once performed in that. I'm a percussionist by training. I've played Iolanthe. I won't try and sing it, although I can remember bits of it. So, excellent. I'm going to give you back the rest of your half hour. Thank you all so much for joining. This, I have to say, has been one of the most fun ones I've done, because everybody, I was interested, and you've probably been on networking events before where everyone's done 60 seconds and it just, you think, oh my God. I was fascinated and interested by everybody who introduced themselves. So, and that's a credit to the membership and the interest here. So thank you all very much for joining. Hopefully I'll see you next Thursday at the same time and at some of our other events. And do please drop me a line if you'd like to have a quick 15-minute one-to-one to explore opportunities. Okie doke. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Andrew. Bye all.
Thank you, Mark.
And then lower free.
Make it easy.
Andrew.
Thanks, Marcia. Bye.
Pleasure. See you again.
Yeah. See you soon.
All right. Bye.
Oh, before you leave, Mark, I probably should have mentioned it just then, but Marcia, children's books, that's something I'd like to do voiceover for. Do you have her LinkedIn? I wasn't sure if she dropped in the chat.
Yeah, she's a good friend. We used to be in the same BNI together. I've got her email. So yeah. I've got to run because I've got another call at 2:30, but ping me a line. Remind me of that when you share whatever you've been able to capture today.
Gotcha. Cool. I'll do it now.
Okay. And I'll send you back. I'll introduce you to Marcia.
Perfect. Thank you. Great.
I'm going to share save the chat. Where's the chat? There we go. Save chat. Where's it gone?
It's a nice smiley face now.
Where's the chat gone? Can you save it just as well, just in case?
Yep.
Oh yeah, show in Finder. Got it. Brilliant. Stop recording.